Dragon Ball FighterZ is bringing a lot of new players to this type of fighting game. Dragon Ball has never experienced something like this before, and while we anxiously await for the beta later this year, we must scratch our fighting game itch, so why not do it with some games that will actually prepare us for Dragon Ball FighterZ. Keep in mind you don't need to buy or play all these games, obviously, I just have some here to give you guys some options. So here they are, 5 fighting games that will prepare you for Dragon Ball FighterZ. BlazBlue Central Fiction, the latest game in the BlazBlue series, one of the previous games developed by Arc Systems released back in 2015. From the looks of it, Dragon Ball FighterZ will handle very similarly in terms of speed, in terms of how combos work, and even some mechanics. For instance, there's a burst mechanic that seems to behave similarly to the Sparking Blast, except for the health regeneration bit. You've got air dashes, you've got push block, and other abilities you'll be able to recognize once you start playing and learning them. It has a roster of 35 characters, which is very impressive for this type of fighting game, and these are very distinct characters, as you'll come to learn. It's a proper fighting game, which means there are a few common abilities across the board, but you'll need to put in some time to really learn a single character. To learn the ropes, the pace, and the mindset on how to play individual characters, BlazBlue is a solid choice to prepare for Dragon Ball FighterZ. Number 2, Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2. Very similar to BlazBlue, we have the more recent Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2. With a slightly small roster of 25 characters, mechanically these games can be very similar. So how would you choose between one or the other? Basically, you look at the overall aspect, the vibe, the theme, and decide which style you like best. Not visual style, because that's very similar, but like character style, fighting style. And if that's not enough, what's your style as a gamer? If you're into testing your own skills online against other players, Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2 might be the better choice since it's the more recent game. If not, then I guess it doesn't matter too much. Oh, by the way, these games may be complex and be tough to learn, but I've never seen a tutorial as good as the one that these games have. You can literally spend as many hours in their tutorial or challenge levels honing your skills and getting better at the game. There are a few things that you can learn by watching YouTube videos or whatever, but most of the information you'd ever need is already in the game, with challenges built around them, and that's really, really cool. Number 3, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I mean, any Marvel vs. Capcom would probably work here if you already own one, but 3 is probably the easiest to get nowadays if you don't have any. Marvel vs. Capcom, or MVC for short, popularized the 3v3 team fighting genre. So this is the game for you to learn how to play as a team of 3 characters, using assists, character swapping, prolonging combos by using multiple characters, all with an incredibly fast pace that's not very kind to beginners. This game can be hard to follow as it is very chaotic and fast, but if you can follow this, then you can follow Dragon Ball FighterZ, because as fast as Dragon Ball FighterZ is, it is not nearly as chaotic as MVC. Number 4, Arcana Heart. Arcana Heart is a bit of a weird recommendation. It's a tough game to get because it's only on PS3 and Xbox 360, so if you don't have those systems, maybe it's not worth getting. And also, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for everyone unless you want to practice some very specific mechanics. The game overall is slower than Dragon Ball FighterZ, and it seems more floaty as well, like characters take longer to fall back down to the ground. It does, however, have a homing dash similar to the super dash in Dragon Ball FighterZ, and since it's kind of floaty, it can be good for practicing aerial combos too. So if you want to get used to a game with a homing dash, I guess try it out if you have the game. If not, I wouldn't go out of my way to buy it, because it's very different from FighterZ. And at the number 5, Hyper Dragon Ball Z. And the reason why I put this in the last place is because mechanically this might be the most different game from Dragon Ball FighterZ. Despite it being a very good 2D Dragon Ball fighting game, it's very different. It's got more of a Street Fighter vibe to it, which isn't bad. You can still use that to practice some combos, but also some characters are straight up ridiculous in terms of the abilities they have, and I'm sure Arc Systems isn't going to go as far as having someone as annoying as Bobby D. Use this game to practice combos, the timing of the combos, especially ones that end with big fireballs that cover the whole screen, because you'll be doing that a lot in FighterZ, and the best news is this is actually a fan-made game that's absolutely free. So there's no excuse not to try it. And those are 5 games that will prepare you for Dragon Ball FighterZ. Unfortunately, none of the 2 Arc Systems games on this list are available for Xbox, so for those games you'll have to stick with PS4 or the PC. Same thing goes for Hyper Dragon Ball Z, because it's a fan-made game, it's not available on console, so that's only on PC as well. But what are you gonna do? For more Dragon Ball FighterZ, here's a video talking about the Super Saiyan Blues that are coming to the game. For something else, you can click right here, but as always, thank you very much for watching. My name is BlazBlue, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!